Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our board meeting for October the 20th. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And tonight we have Reverend Roy Worley to do the invocation.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for letting me come. Let's pray. Father God, we come to ask your blessings upon that which you approve by this committee, this board. We ask that you guide them in every thought, in every word, in every deed, in every action that is for the benefit of this good community. You've commanded your children to pray for governments so that there would be peace in the land, and so we do. We pray just for that. But we know that peace can only come through the Prince of Peace, and that we do indeed need a king, and you have provided yourself as that king, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. May you guide us all and always, and it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Roll call, please.
All right. Barry?
Yes.
Boudreaux?
Here.
Vaughn is not here. Crockett? Not here. Getzky? Not here. Zimmelman? Here. And Ms. Lamore?
Here.
Okay.
Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Seeing none. We were going to vote on approving the minutes, but since I wasn't here for the last meeting, we don't have a quorum to vote on that.
You can vote on it. You can vote on it if you want to, but either way, 3-1 is going to be enough for the minutes. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes? Can I have a motion to accept?
I'll motion.
Second.
Motion by Zimbelman, second by Barry.
Okay. Zimmelman?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Boudreaux?
Yes.
Okay. Public participation. First up tonight is Sandy Chiz.
Hello. I planned on talking about how I would rather be sitting at home on my couch rather than be here repeating and rehashing the same issues over and over again. But then I got my hate letter. The letter proved to me how little understanding many people have about what's going on in our village and why we get up meeting after meeting repeating ourselves. This is what the letter says. Sandy, do you go back and watch the village board meetings and see how ridiculous you sound? Go back and listen to the 10-6-25 meeting. Let me point out to you again, as several people have done, the $500,000 fishing pond, the $300,000 addition to Thies Park. At least we have something to show for our tax dollars spend. You are in full support of the forensic audit. Let me show you in black and white. $8 million minus $1.68 million, which will be for nothing, leaving us with $6,320,000 for the continued attorney's fees for the Goshen
I'm
lawsuit.
going to stop you right there because the cost of that audit is not $1.68 million.
I do comment about that,
go ahead.
yes. The fact that you have free trash pickup and property tax rebate is because of the sale to Aqua, which was made possible by the prior mayor and board. You know, the people you hate, but you enjoy what they have done for the community. I, too, am a concerned citizen of Manteno, and I'm embarrassed by the constant negativity that you and other CCOMs bring to the board meetings. You have your right to your opinion, but so do the rest of us who can't speak out because of the hateful response from CCOM. So I have a few comments. Of course, the fishing pond and the addition to Thies Park prove that we have something to show for the dollars spent. But isn't the question actually whether we really needed it or why we needed it? And were the costs reasonable for what we got? Then the author states that the forensic audit is $1.68 million. Where did that come from? I mean, that's nuts. If it was a $1.68 million audit, I would have been up here fighting against it as well. I mean, that's absurd.
And the actual cost is $168,000.
$168,000. Then we hear about the attorney's fees for the Goshen lawsuit. They should realize we're paying double. Our tax money for the fees plus our donations to the fund. But regardless, there is such a thing as misunderstanding about why Goshen is so bad for Manteno. Our water will be at risk, our homes, our health, our very lives will be at risk in so many ways. But they just don't see this. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why they don't. The only statement I did agree with is that the author feels that they can't speak at meetings because of the response from the audience. I agree. People should be able to give their opinion without harassment from the audience, and I wish that would stop.
Thank you. Tim Finnegan.
These are general things that I observed from all of these meetings. Attending these meetings does reveal a lot of information. Not much of it is very good watching the board. The body language of the trustees does reveal a lot about them, mostly reveals there is no transparency. There's not transparency. Prior to the election, people were brought in only to discredit the candidate running against Choice Party. One attack was Bernie Thompson against Annette Lamore, how her contribution as a trustee was a pumpkin carving contest and a snowman building contest. Also about $60,000 wasted on the golf course. Funny how Bernie has admitted he was village administrator. He was watching it. I find it amusing that Bernie had knowledge and did nothing about it. The real kicker is, wasn't Bernie Thompson involved in the prostitution ring case? Doesn't he have a lot of credibility? It's a shame this crap continues only because the Choice Party isn't gone. Nugent is not here in person, but he is still controlling his puppets. Nugent's legacy right now may be what he has done before, but it will not be when something happens in Goshen. If that plant goes up, his legacy will be whatever destruction that plant causes. Thank you.
Francine Fatima.
Good evening. I'm here again, and I intend to continue until the Goshen problem is solved. But this is a little different, what I'm going to talk on here tonight, because it has to do with an anonymous letter that I received, and I will read it. I think it's a crank letter, to be honest with you. And we should all be concerned about this because it seems the number of them are growing. So this person, he or she, sent this. I received it at 1199 Fawn Circle, but the address was just 119, and it reached me. So that, I guess, can thank the post office. So, Ms. Fatima, the letter states, please go back and watch the village board meetings and see how you sound during the public participation, whatever that means. And I heard that part in Sandy's letter that she received. Please consider volunteering at the library to read to small kids to fill your need for public speaking. It would be appreciated. It's one thing to speak when you really have something to say, but I find it hard to believe that every board meeting you need to speak at. Thank you. So, it's kind of a weird, anonymous letter. No guts, I say. If you got an opinion, tell us who you are.
So I read the letter, but it won't stop our opposition to Goshen. It's coming out more and more in the United States that there's a big influence of the communist ideology. So now we have some reaction to various speakers with some, I don't know what I wrote there. I'm very disturbed by the fact that our freedom of speech is really being attacked. And just trying to reach John Q. Public, and for them to speak out to you, that's what small village life should be. That's America. And I'm rather distressed. Thank you.
Thank you. Tiffany Parpart.
I'll switch gears. Hi, my name is Tiffany Parpart, and I'm a Manteno resident, and I own several small businesses here in town, including some Airbnbs, a salon, and a coffee shop. I deeply care about Manteno and seeing Main Street thrive. I'm here tonight to speak against the short-term rental tax in partnership with the Visit Kankakee County. I know it's not on the agenda, but I feel like I need to get ahead of it because generally once it's on the agenda, it's already voted. Everyone already knows what they feel. So let's be clear, I am not against growth or tourism. I am for all partnerships that actually strengthen Manteno. But before we sign onto something that adds another layer of tax, we owe it to our residents and business owners and our visitors to ask a simple question. What is the return that Manteno will actually get? Short-term rental owners in Manteno already pay a state occupancy tax through platforms like Airbnb. The last time I spoke, I had figured out the numbers, and it was like in the past 3 years, between property tax and state occupancy tax, I had paid over $74,000 to those taxes. So adding another layer of tax would be another 5% in the revenue that we take in from our short-term rentals. So we do not need another tax. What measurable benefit will Manteno see from it? I ask that you trustees ask yourselves that when thinking if we will partner with Visit Kankakee. I think it's fair for the board to ask Visit Kankakee what specific tangible improvements will partnership bring to our town. How much will their billion-dollar budget directly impact Manteno, not Kankakee, not Bourbonnais, but our Main Street? And what accountability measures are in place for those promises that aren't kept? Because right now, we all know Main Street businesses, the heart of Manteno, are under a lot of pressure. Just last week, we saw a Main Street business close their doors. And I've heard rumors about several other people either wanting to sell or closing their doors soon as well. Have you talked to those owners? Do you see and understand the pressures that each small business is under? Walk through our downtown. Most of our downtown is not, is not full of consumable businesses. It's full of offices, dental offices, financial offices, some new nonprofit, what is it called? The Faceless Love. That's what takes away our Main Street, nothing consumable. Sorry, got sidetracked here. Okay, we have very few restaurants, we have very few consumable shops, and not nearly enough foot traffic to sustain growth. So why are we focusing on tourism? Our small business community is already carrying a heavy burden. High property taxes, raising insurance, utility, labor costs, $15 an hour to 15-year-olds with paid time off. And now we're talking about adding another cost on top of that. That's not helping small businesses. It's weighing them down. Has any short-term rental host asked you if they need help with their marketing or their properties? I know for me, I don't need help with mine. So that's in large what the Visit Kankakee does, right? It's marketing for tourism. Short-term rentals are what bring people here. It's not what bring people here. The families bring people here. In my quick research of the hotel tax, I found that only large cities like Naperville, Darien, Chicago implement this 5% short-term rental tax. The short-term hosts aren't big corporations in Manteno. There's only a handful of us here. We're your neighbors, and we're just trying to make ends meet. I've even been lucky enough to experience Visit Kankakee's initiatives firsthand. My business participated in one of their promotions, the craft beverage tour. Do you know how many customers that actually brought through my doors of my coffee shop? Two customers. So I'm here to ask, has Visit Kankakee truly done anything impactful in Manteno? Do we have a way to measure it? Maybe one day we'll need a tourism bureau, but right now we don't have attractions, we don't have a surplus of restaurants or consumable businesses for tourists to participate in. So please, hang on, sorry. So maybe one day we will need one. What makes Manteno special is that is what should be protected is the small businesses and Main Street. So tonight I just ask the board to pause before voting on a new partnership or a new tax. Let's not rush what looks good on paper. Let's see real data and real results. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
So,
David Kiken.
Just want to reiterate a little bit why I'm no Goshen. Of course, I'm against the toxins. But as a Christian, I'm against the CCP that persecutes Christians, kills Christians. I know I've been told that the Chinese are not our enemy. I don't know where you get that from. If you saw 60 Minutes, not last night, but the Sunday before, we have the Chinese, the FBI discovered that they infiltrated and had control of a small community in Massachusetts, Littleton, Massachusetts, of their water system. Yep. And the FBI said as if it's happened in a small town of 10,000, you can bet that it's happened all over the place. Getting to the water, I know all the wonderful things that have happened with that $25 million. I mean, Mr. Nugent made sure that his legacy was great in the public's eyes with everything that happened, or with everything that he did here. But maybe we could have put aside some of that money so we wouldn't be in the financial strain that we may be in the next few years. Saw an article today in the paper that said the hidden risk of 90% of America's drinking water, and it says the water source that usually needs the least treatment is groundwater or well water. This is a sample of my water at home from about a month ago. I made the mistake of making a sharp turn here and it overturned. This yellow gunk in the bottom of this bottle is actually about 1/4 of an inch thick. The rest of it looks clear after it settles for a while. But I just wondered what that gunk is. I'm glad I have a reverse osmosis system. I don't drink the water, but I do take a shower every once in a while. Anyhow, I don't think we're getting a good deal from Aqua.
Thank you. Bob Forsythe.
I do hope that everybody took note on Littleton, Massachusetts, and especially what we have going on right here. CJ, you said you're a master of history. Well, I certainly hope you teach your students about the Chinese Communist Party and the threat they are to America and the world. Not give your opinion, but do the real facts. There is a No Goshen fundraiser coming up. Gordon Chang is going to be there. I would hope that our village board attends this, buys a ticket and shows up and listens to him. You could educate yourself very well. I left a flyer for you, and I left a flyer for Annette. Mike, I thought maybe you could look at CJ's. And Annette, maybe you could, oh, you folded it up and threw it away. That doesn't show that you really care about what's going on in Manteno and Goshen. The Chinese Communist Party is here, and they are here. One person got a reward here, and that was Mayor Nugent, the ex-Mayor Nugent. They made a lot of money, and he got a nice job at the state. So for you to fold this up and throw it away and wrinkle it up, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Ann Gates.
Good evening. Good to see you back.
Thank you.
When I was taking a master's class, the instructor encouraged us to video so that we would have on hand something that we could go back to and rewatch, take notes on, build our own educational library from, so that we would be able to grow and expand our understanding. Last week I talked about, or the week before that, I brought pictures for you to see of what everything looks like with an ion lithium battery. Again, first responder community, thank you for your service. God bless you guys. But I figured I would do for you what I learned to do in that class. There are several things going on. I have notebooks full of information, but the best thing that I can do is to hold these up so that people that live stream this meeting can go back and watch them for themselves and get the correct information. Not my opinion, not my idea, certainly not this opinion or this idea. This is from the people that either live in country in China and risk their lives to get this information out, or it's people in the United States that deal with the results of the poor. I can't, I'm not even going to go there. Being a lady, I don't talk like that anymore. But the risk that we put our first responders at, as well as in our community. The first one is China oversight, battery ejection. It's from Dongguan, China. It's in country. The other one is China Truth, fires, failures, and the range that they have. So you can look at that. You can look at your YouTube, and you can study them for yourself and get the information firsthand. The next one I want to share with you is Behind the Great Firewall, Chinese Lithium Battery Battle. Another one is China Secrets, Uncovers CCP Battery Information. You can take a look at these YouTubes and get the information. This is in China. These people risk their lives by releasing this information because they are taking a stand against the CCP. It's all privately videoed film that they show that, of course, would be censored by the CCP. The next one, his name is Monkey Works, is his code name. He is a firefighter from the United States. He does a sit rep usually twice a week. He uses an app called Skyglass, and he has been showing. Can I take a few more minutes,
You can take
Adam?
about another 30 to 50
Thank you.
seconds.
He shows in real time what is going on in our nation. He shows in real time what the intelligence community is using, and they have one high altitude drone that sniffs for nuclear I encourage you to look up Monkey Works and check out the information he has on K-Club. If you don't know what a K-Club is, it looks just like a container, many of which are sitting over there in Goshen. Looks like a regular shipping container. Our Homeland Security, all of our intelligence guys know this for a fact. They contain missile launchers in them. It's China's way of being able to infiltrate without being found out, and they do have, or they can have, nuclear capability. So check out K-Club. Yeah, I saw the look, and I'm sorry that you don't like what I'm saying, but the truth is, I really care about this town. And my home happens to be in blast range if something happens at that place. And at my age, at 74, I can't afford to get up and move again and find someplace safe to live. I thought that's what I found when I moved here. Okay. I will give these to the people that are interested in protecting our city and our town and our belongings. And the last note, EPA just signed another contract with another firm for the renowned Morris Fire. This is year 3 that they are still cleaning up the toxicity. They did tell the people that lived within the 16-mile radius that had to be evacuated, over 1,000 homes, that they had no idea how this was going to impact the value of their homes, seeing as the area is now considered a brown zone. Please keep that in mind, and for God's sake, keep in mind our first responders, because I'll tell you what, when something goes down, who are the ones that you call first? These guys. They don't have EPA, they don't have PPA or SCBA. Protect these guys, they deserve it.
The last speaker tonight is David Bergdahl.
Good evening. One of our earlier speakers tonight discussed how the fact that once something gets to the agenda, it's going to be voted on, and there's not been too much opportunities for discussion, because apparently discussion's been relegated to committee. I was wondering if perhaps the board might consider going back to the old way and doing first and second readings on things. If initially presented at a full board meeting on TV at one meeting, and then you come back and vote on it at the second meeting, so that more of the public can get more transparency as to what's going on and what's going on without having to show up to every meeting. That said, changing topics. We had a presentation earlier this evening from the River Valley Special Recreation Association. This is a fine organization. There's a number of people in the community who regularly utilize their services. I, in fact, have been to one of their events. As I've told you before, I've got a couple of autistic children I deal with regularly. Well, they're not kids anymore. They're 20 and 22 now. But this Special Rec Association focused on what they do for school-age children. They provide programs for everyone from toddlers to senior citizens. The 216 people I think she mentioned earlier is just the people at the school district. Once they turn 20, they're done with the school district, or 22, when they get out of transitions, they still qualify for all of these programs. They have many adult programs. I'm trying to figure this out because I've got a couple of adults that probably I should be sending to these programs. I mean, they got senior citizens programs too. I know I deal regularly with someone who has guardianship of a blind lady here in town who would love to be able to go to some of these social events. But they are always so booked that basically whenever they sign up for these things, they get bumped because it's full with people from Bradley, Bourbonnais, Kankakee, Aroma Park. 25, 30 years ago, We tried forming a park district. It didn't happen. The referendum didn't pass. This is the kind of thing that the funding system that they discussed is what's designed for when you have a park district. And the park district funding actually is a pass-through from the park district to the special rec. So I suggest that you take further looking at this, because what they're asking for is completely relevant, and there's far more demand in the community than you probably realize. Thank you.
Thank you, David. That concludes public participation. Next up is the reports of village officials. First of all, I'm going to ask Chris LaRocque if there's anything from the administration office that you'd like to say.
Nope, nothing this evening.
Jim Hanley mentioned to me tonight that we recently had a retiree, and it's Mike Pointkowski. Would you like to talk about that, Jim?
Yeah, Mike retired late last month, first week of this month. Worked with the village for 10 years. He was the supervisor for the last, I think, 7. Been a great addition to the village. One of the greatest, hardest workers I know. We did a lot of stuff here in town, any of the projects that were happening. Mike was deeply involved. He just retired, sold his house, moved down to Texas. Miss him every day, so just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Village President's report. And I wanted to let everybody know that I've been getting a lot of invitations to speak at different events, and I did speak to some 4th graders this last week. There were 6 classes of students, 123 kids, and I came in with a landline phone that came off the wall of my parents' house. I saved it, and I showed that to them and asked them if they knew what it was, and I expected them to say an old telephone, and they all said landline. So they knew what a landline was. And I compared it to today's cell phones, and I said, we've come a long way, because the length of this cord on this phone that I brought with me is as far as I could walk away from that telephone. It was attached to the wall, couldn't carry it in my pocket, couldn't spend an hour on the phone talking to friends while I'm outside. It happened all in the kitchen of my home. So they were amazed by that. They asked me a lot of questions. How can I be the mayor? Why did you become the mayor? Are you glad you did that? Was it hard? What did you have to do? They were bubbly and energetic and so happy to meet me because I am the mayor, and it made them very excited. So I was originally asked to be there for 30 minutes. It turned into an hour. And I think the teachers were happy, and I was quite pleased and honored to be there. So that was a good thing. This week, I'm speaking to the KIFAR, which is the Kankakee Iroquois Ford Association of Realtors. So it's basically all the realtors in Kankakee, Iroquois, and Ford counties. And I'm going to be at the Majestic Theater with other mayors who are also going to be speaking. I don't really have any other business to discuss, so I'm going to turn this over to Trustee Barry.
Thank you, Mayor. Old business on the agenda, none. New business on the agenda, payment of the bills in the total of $504,262.50. That includes $378,311 for the MFT road resurfacing project that was done. Jim, where was that at again?
The NFT project,
Yes.
we did multiple roads, 6th Street, Marble, Shale, multiple spots for patching, South Poplar, Walnut, Park, there's multiple spots, so around town, that was taken care of. I think they finalized it towards the end of September there, and just getting the billing in.
Perfect. That includes TIF bill number 3 for $1,312.50. Bills authorized and paid between board cycle. Our next finance committee meeting will be Monday, November 17th, 5 p.m. at the village boardroom. Thank you.
Thank you. Planning and zoning, Trustee Boudreau.
Thank you, Mayor. No new or old business on the agenda. The next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is Wednesday, November 12th at 7 a.m. at the Village Boardroom. The next Planning Commission meeting is Tuesday, November 11th, 6 p.m. here in the Village Boardroom. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. And who's going to speak for Trustee Vaughn?
We got it all, I think, organized.
Okay.
Okay, for Trustee Vaughn, Public Safety and Health, old and new business on the agenda known. Public Safety Committee report, Her next Public and Safety and Health Committee meeting will be 11/17 at 5 PM Village Boardroom. Do you want to give us any updates, sir, about anything going on, or?
I don't think there's anything really big going on. I don't know, I know they've given some stats lately at board meetings. I just put a few together. In the last, since the last board meeting, we've had 46 case reports, so those are things that just turn from incident reports enough to document whether it's serious or not, and 25 traffic stops. So it's been relatively light. Our officers did respond to the recent traffic accident up on Route 50 and 12,000. I think it was initially reported that one person died, but I think, or two people, but thankfully it was only one, but still one too many. So, but our officers do respond up there, and they were on that scene as well.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Public Works and Utilities, Trustee Crockett.
Nothing new or old on the agenda. The next Public Works Committee meeting is Tuesday, October 28th at 7 a.m. here in the Village Boardroom. That's all he had.
Thank you. Properties and Recreation, Trustee Geske.
I got it. No old business, no new business. The next Properties and Rec Committee meeting is Wednesday, November 12th at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom. For General Government, there's nothing on the agenda. The next General Government Committee meeting is Tuesday, 10/28 at 7 a.m. in the Village Boardroom.
Thank you. All right, there's only one thing we're voting on for tonight, and that is consideration for a motion to approve payment of the bills in the amount of $504,262.50, including TIF number 3 for $1,312.50. Could I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Barry, second by Boudreau.
Okay, Barry?
Yes.
Boudreau?
Yes.
Simmelman?
Yes.
And then Mayor?
Yes. Motion carries. Comments. Annette Zimbelman, do you have any comments tonight?
No, I have nothing.
CJ?
Just some quick ones. Just to address the anonymous letters, we as a board have been getting them too, and I'll be honest, even though some are positive to some of us and some are not, I'm kind of tired of them too. I'd rather them just reach out to us. I mean, you shouldn't be getting any feedback, as you said, and I appreciate it, what you said too. Like, everyone deserves their opinion to speak. It's your right as an American. If you don't like it, then come and speak against it right after. I mean, that's the way to do it. Don't send mail to people's houses. That to me is a step over the line. I don't like that at all. Again, with the payments, we already talked about it. They're mostly for the resurfacing. Another big chunk, I think $61,000 was for the garbage fees, so that makes sense. Just two other really quick points. The committee meeting thing was mentioned. One thing I'm trying to work on, I'm going to talk to Mr. Knox, is to get those agendas posted on our social media, so that way at least it's more out there for you guys to see what we're discussing on. And again, I can't remember if we are pushing it forward or we're still looking. We're trying to record those too as much as possible so you guys can see. I don't expect you all to be coming to every meeting. That's a lot of your time. You didn't sign up for this, so that's going to be hopefully more accessible.
Yeah, we're working with a local company to record those meetings. They'll post them live on YouTube just like these meetings. That should start sometime in November.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. And then two other just really quick points. This kind of came up too. Just this thing to keep in mind, and this is not trying to be an attack at all, just because something doesn't benefit you doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't benefit the town. Like the pickleball courts, obviously not everyone's using them, but they're used constantly. I see it always packed, which is great. The fishing pond, I'm not a big fisherman, but I know people do, so that I think it also just looks aesthetically pleasing. Same with, you could do that with the resurfacing. I mean, my street didn't get much resurfacing, but I'm not mad that I paid my taxes towards it, you know what I mean? So it's just something to keep in mind too when we're considering what we're voting on with it. And I know we hear it a lot, obviously with the lawsuit in Wisconsin, but all this anti-China, just to remind everybody, we are a village board, so there's limited we can do to fight China. That is something I would maybe try to reach out to your U.S. congressmen, U.S. senators, the president. I will say, I know like President Trump seems to be trying to work on trade agreements with China, so if we're really anti-China, maybe start focusing on him and Congress to be more aggressive against it. Again, we're limited on what we can do, but that's just maybe an area to focus. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike?
One thing is, I forgot to ask, what are the trick-or-treating hours?
Oh, shoot, I wrote that down.
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Usually,
I
yes.
think 5 to 7.
5 to 7? 5 to 7, so if everybody could kind of be on alert for the kids running around 5 to 7 o'clock. And one other thing too is if you see something out of the ordinary in your neighborhood, call the police. I mean, there's no reason to, there's something suspicious, a car or something, call the police. I know a lot of us have cameras, but let them handle it. And once again, with the anonymous letters, I think it's funny that someone takes the time and all the energy to do that, and that's great. A simple phone call or an email to a person. I mean, I've always been from the old school, if you got something to say it to my face, or at least let me know. But I mean, when we're starting to get residents who are taking their time out of here, and I mean, especially some of the residents here are older, I mean, that could scare somebody. And I think that I never saw, for all the years coming to the village board meetings before there was a turnover election, all these people getting anonymous letters. So, you know, and people could dictate the anonymous letter whatever way they want, but I think it would be best if we can, if you have your opinion, that's great, and if you don't want to voice it, that's fine, but there's plenty of people to contact with your opinion. So, just going forward, I'd hate to see residents get scared or nervous or everything else, especially what's going on in the world today. You know, it's not right. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. I want to thank Mike for being the president pro tem, because I missed the last meeting. I was in Florida at my grandson's wedding, and I had a wonderful time, and I left the meeting in good hands because I watched it, and he did a fantastic job. So thank you, Mike. And I also want to remind everybody, not only is there trick-or-treating on Halloween, but Main Street in Manteno will be having trick-or-treats from the business people on Saturday, October the 25th, from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. So bring your kids in their costumes and visit all the different business owners on Main Street. I heard the post office is even involved this year, so you don't know what you're going to get. Maybe some stamps. But thank you, everybody. I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Barry, second by Zimbelman. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.